The world watched in disbelief as Russian tanks rolled across the Ukrainian border on February 24, 2022. This full-scale invasion, launched by Russian President Vladimir Putin, shattered decades of relative peace in Europe. The conflict has since spiraled into a humanitarian crisis, displacing millions and claiming thousands of lives. The international community condemned the invasion, imposing unprecedented sanctions on Russia. Yet the fighting continues with no clear end in sight. The invasion has had a profound impact on global geopolitics. It has unified the West in its opposition to Russian aggression, revitalizing NATO and strengthening transatlantic ties. The conflict has also exposed Europe's dependence on Russian energy, leading to a scramble for alternative sources. The invasion of Ukraine is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of war. It is a conflict that has reshaped the geopolitical landscape, raising questions about the future of Europe and the rules-based international order. The invasion has also highlighted the power of information warfare in the 21st century. Russia has waged a relentless propaganda campaign, spreading disinformation and attempting to justify its actions. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for hearts and minds, with both sides vying for control of the narrative. To truly understand the roots of this conflict, one must delve into the complex history of Ukraine and its relationship with Russia. Ukraine, a country rich in culture and resources, has long been caught in the geopolitical tug-of-war between Russia and the West. For centuries, Ukraine's fertile lands, known as the breadbasket of Europe, were coveted by its larger neighbor. In 1991, after decades under Soviet rule, Ukraine declared its independence. This momentous event marked the end of the Cold War and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. However, the long history of intertwined cultures and shared borders left a complex legacy. Russia, under Putin's leadership, has never fully accepted Ukraine's independence, viewing it as an artificial separation of two brotherly nations. This perspective, fueled by a narrative of historical grievances and a desire to restore Russia's former glory, laid the groundwork for future conflict. In 2014, the world witnessed the first tremors of the earthquake that would shake Europe in 2022. Russia, exploiting political instability in Ukraine, annexed the Crimean Peninsula. This act of aggression, condemned by the international community, marked a turning point in Russia's relationship with Ukraine and the West. The annexation of Crimea was swift and strategic. Russian forces, operating under the guise of protecting the Russian-speaking population, seized control of key infrastructure and government buildings. A hastily organized referendum, widely considered illegitimate by international observers, provided a veneer of legitimacy to the annexation. The international community responded with condemnation and sanctions, but Russia remained undeterred. The annexation of Crimea served as a chilling prelude to the larger conflict that would erupt 8 years later. Section 4. Donbas, a smoldering conflict ignites. In the aftermath of the Crimean annexation, a new conflict emerged in eastern Ukraine. The Donbas region, home to a significant Russian-speaking population, became a battleground between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed separatists. This conflict, fueled by Russian propaganda and military support, simmered for years, claiming thousands of lives and displacing millions. The conflict in Donbas was characterized by brutal trench warfare, shelling of civilian areas, and a constant climate of fear and uncertainty. The Minsk agreements, brokered by France and Germany, aimed to bring an end to the fighting, but a lasting ceasefire remained elusive. The Donbas conflict served as a training ground for Russian military tactics, and a testing ground for hybrid warfare strategies. It also provided a constant source of tension and instability in the region, paving the way for the full-scale invasion in 2022. The human cost of war is immeasurable. Lives are shattered, families torn apart, and communities left in ruins. The scars of conflict run deep, affecting generations to come. In the midst of the chaos, the resilience and spirit of those affected shine through, reminding us of the enduring strength of the human spirit.